Accidental murder stories later.
There it is. That's the right one. All right, and we returned. I unmuted the wrong one, so you got a quick hint about what was being talked about while I ate my burrito.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, nice.
uh, so, what is the party's plan of action now? They're on the surface. You are capable of you are on the city streets now. But where are you heading first?
Well, I would think that we wanted to go to the marketplace because I'm pretty sure that was the plan last time was hit up the marketplace, go to the tower.
And Hunter's Moon wanted a new suit.
Well, no, that's something that's not happening now. But it's always good to go get equipment.
I'm talking about when you're talking about your role play thing. You said you had grime on your suit.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Made a fucking mess down there.
Right.
Slurpee in his slimy hand.
No, that was
I'm good.
Blue.
A fish is a fish is a fish is a fish.
Whoa, racism.
No, you're a fish person. That's just a fish.
I'm a. Don't make fun of my cousins now.
They're not your whatever.
All right.
Randall is too sober to have this conversation with you, but still.
All right. So you're heading. What is your route of approach?
Well,
Good question.
just take the straight down and just head straight through, or not down that way, but like cut through down this way.
I didn't see a fucking thing what you're doing.
Me? I said, well, maybe we could cut down through this pathway here and just head through the market square down towards this way, because down that road. Yeah,
close to Queen's Park Garden.
I would figure we want to go closer to Queen's Park because that's a lot of haze if we just go downward and just go through the market that way.
It looks like the haze gets thicker either way.
Yeah, so just bite the bullet, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Let's get the lovely rules for Deep Haze, because that's where things get fun.
Yay.
The Haze, and then Deep Haze.
Oh, you fuck.
Alright, so each of you give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, I can absolutely do that. Maybe not. I don't know.
Where's my Constitution? Where's my
I gotta refresh because I'm hearing the bloops in that, but I think maybe the pups mess with my fucking wires again.
Damn you, poppers!
Damn, but still, what you doing? You see what you see?
Sprok has advantage, correct?
No, so that's a 14.
He does not have advantage against the haze?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I'm guessing that's level 5 or level 6. So both Hunter's Moon and Sprok gain a level of contamination.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna need a D6 from both of you to see if you mutate.
Damn.
Alright, Hunter's Moon is save.
Gonna have to get rid of these fucking levels at some point.
Uh,
Oh.
Sprok, is that a mutation for you?
Contamination level 2, so...
Yep. That's a mutation. Give me a D100.
Oh boy.
At second level of contamination, you have the hit points, or the amount of hit points you receive while expending hit dice during a short rest is halved.
Mm-hmm.
A 2 on a D100. Oh, no.
Oh, this should not be funny at all.
This is literally the worst one for you all. Delimbed. Your arms and legs fall off. You are unable to carry anything and your speed becomes 0. After you remove the contamination, your limbs grow back after 1d4 days.
Oh shit.
Son of a bitch!
I really hope that you weren't carrying anything, a lot of shit in your hands, Sprok.
I'm gonna call you Matt now.
So, you get to about here before Sprok just walks out of his limbs.
Okay, well, I am gonna, but still, fucking Christ, you are gonna have to help me. We're gonna have to try and drag Sprok over towards the market square or something, and see if we can't find someone to help with this mutation.
There's
Should we?
also the fact that you have the barracks not horribly far away.
Do you want to do a Wookiee C-3PO situation?
You fucking strap Sprok to my back and hike over towards the. I mean, we could go towards the barracks,
Because
but if we go there and then to the market, though, that just makes us go back into the deep haze.
But you have your fucking tank back.
Yeah, let's go to the barracks.
We need a take bag.
Okay, so what I am going to do for this is because we are going to roll 2d6. I'm going to allow Sprok to choose one person beforehand to guide in each roll and give advantage on that roll. Because Sprok is unable to navigate, but is not prevented from talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, this is the worst one to get.
Yeah, for sure. We this is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter's Moon.
Alright. Hunter's Moon, and you get advantage on your d6 roll. You and Bastille give me a d6.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 6s.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Alright.
All right.
So, with Sprok's expert guidance and knowledge of the city, he is able to guide you back, not entirely to the barracks in one fell swoop, but is able to guide you towards a cache that the Hooded Lanterns often use. A middle point between here and the market that they would often use as a rally point in case someone got hurt.
Okay. The Is the cache in a the cache is in one of these buildings?
Yes, it is in the basement of one of the buildings that is heavily obscured by overgrown plant life and some creative camouflage crafted by the Hooded Lanterns.
So good place to rest for a week.
Well, it's a good place to get your
Oh,
feet
half a
under
week.
get your feet under you before you make the stretch back there, because you still need to get rid of the contamination to grow your limbs back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. This table is wrong. It goes from 15 to 16. It's missing a fucking number.
What the fuck?
Fucking shit.
Alright. So, I'm going to go with that one because it would adjust appropriately. 1d4. Inside of it is a small vial. Is a small vial of black goo written in case of emergency. Throw. And in a crate beside it is a bundle of arrows, a few rations, and 2 potions of greater healing.
As we're taking a look at the cache, first things first, I put Sprok down and check up on him and just ask, are you in any pain? Does it hurt you lost your damn limbs, little brother?
Not at all. It's
What?
strange.
This is just crazy.
What?
to me.
I
What
can
in the
still
hell's
feel
happened to you?
What happened?
I don't know. I can still feel my limbs, but they're not there. It's odd and distressing, but physically I'm fine, I think. Well, apart from missing limbs, of course.
So now you understand what an amputee means when they say that they can wiggle their toes?
Yeah.
Sprok, you do feel something poking your foot.
Ow, ow.
What is it?
What is it?
Something's poking my foot.
What
Something like-
foot?
What? You don't have a foot.
I know, but... Oh, ow, ow!
What? What?
I don't understand how you can actually look. There's one thing about saying that you can like feel your toes wiggling or something, but to actually feel pain on a limb that's no longer there.
Maybe I've
God.
still got some sort of connection to him. Like
Moon.
water and the second gate.
Moon, what can we do about this?
Well, there's this vial of dark liquid, and it says in case of emergency, throw. And I have a feeling
Throw it.
this is an emergency.
This is
Hunter's Moon, baseball chucks the vial straight at Sprok's forehead.
You're... Okay. Okay.
It's-
What do I need
this
to
is-
roll?
This is an emergency.
Constitution save. The rest of you stealth checks.
Wait, what?
what?
Okay.
I'm.
That's-
Oh, fuck you, Hunter's Moon, because I bet I'm gonna have a bad roll. Watch.
Got to turn
Okay.
15 advantage off again. That's a 15.
Alright. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
Sprok,
Okay.
you feel a deep burning on your forehead, but you're able to kind of like shake your head off to get it off before it starts leaving any damage. There is a darkened red spot where the ooze had splattered. And other than looking very irritated, you're ultimately fine, but it reeks to high hell.
Motherfucker, what do you do that for?
I take it didn't work.
As you're doing that, you hear shrieks of dozens of delirium drags in the area.
Huh? Huh? What? Maybe you shouldn't have thrown that.
Well, we're not that far away from the barracks, but we could. Excuse me. We're not that far away from the barracks, but if need be, we can fortify this place and hold out.
That, hmm. You think we gotta hold out?
Not much I can do to help defend.
No shit, Matt.
Question
Oh.
is, questions you need to ask yourself. Do you feel as if you two could hold off a line, or do you feel better off making a break for it?
Well, given our speeds, honestly, I feel like we could run and be okay.
Yeah. We're pretty fast.
Especially since Sprok doesn't weigh very much right now.
No.
Sprok missing all of his limbs, given average goblin weight, would weigh only about 30 pounds.
That's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing. I am fast as fuck.
I am fast as fuck. Let's run. Let's do it.
All right, both of you give me athletics checks. You passed your
All
stealth
right.
checks. I'm gonna allow you to do this with advantage.
Okay, I was gonna say, Timmy, I was gonna say I was gonna give you guidance to help you out.
Oh,
Athletics, not acrobatics.
oh, I'm so sorry. I read that wrong.
No worries.
Okay, this is why. I mean, it's look. Okay,
We're
hold up.
All right.
Yeah, it's at advantage. So, and because I have so many of these,
You both have guidance, so you could also both roll extra D4.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Ow. Ow. All right.
there we go.
Ooh.
All right.
So an 8 and a 14.
No, they're both at advantage.
They're both at advantage, and I added my knowledge from a past life to my roll and guidance to both of ours.
Yeah, so I think we're...
All right. So, well, I'm sorry, Daisy.
We should be fine.
So, you don't have much time before... you don't have much time. So you... Which one of you fucks pulled the Squishmallow out of the shrine?
Huh?
We have a little shrine to a cat that passed away under my desk because she would have liked the little warm spot.
Oh,
But
that's sweet.
I'll just reorganize my cords tomorrow.
Before we take off, I just say to Sprok, mounted on my back, before we go, I just want to apologize. It's said in case of emergencies, and I was desperate. But on the bright side, you don't have to do any of the hard work for this part.
I just said I did tell you to throw it.
Good.
Blame Bastille.
Didn't have to throw it at me, though.
It was an emergency.
All right,
It
so
was.
Sprok, as they're running with you on their back, you're able to see a horde of monsters crawling out of these shambles of buildings, converging onto the group as they're fucking booking it. There are dozens and dozens of these creatures.
Let's run faster. Let's run faster.
As I'm huffing and puffing, I'm looking towards Bastille, knowing my reborn nature because I technically cannot get tired. And I just look at Bastille and I go, "Come on, Sleepy, keep up."
I'm doing it. I'm a fish. This is easier than swimming.
It's not. You're able to turn the corner and head, making a beeline down towards the barracks. And Sprok, you're able to see this gargantuan monster rising out from the crumbling house as it just lurches out, scooping up a handful of the dregs and dragging them into the hole.
I think I just saw what killed the fish. Scared the red folk off. Let's go
If it's
faster.
as-
Let's go faster.
If it's as big as it sounds, my feet can't move any faster.
Move it, flat feet, move it.
As you get within 300 feet of the building, 2 green flares and a red flare rise up from the garrison, and a horn sounds. The portcullis opens up halfway as you're rushed inside, and the hooded lanterns start rushing towards the battlements. You're able to get inside, and the portcullis slams shut as Petra Lang leads you towards the infirmary. What in the hells did you do?
It's not what we did. Well, part of what I did. That's not what we did. The Haze had an unfortunate interaction with our friend here, and we had to divert our plans to the garrison here. Thankfully, you lowered the portcullis, went down when you did. Otherwise, we'd have been dead.
It's at this point that the fighting outside, or the fighting is... I'm going to lose my mind if those doors keep slamming. It's around this time that the fighting is growing louder. And you're able to hear Ansem outside giving orders. And bringing something up about grabbing Oscar's fire.
Shit. If you tend to our friend, do you think we should help?
Yeah, leave me here with the healer. You go help.
I think we should help.
Come on, Bastille.
Let's kick some ass.
Time to earn our money.
Let's do what we did in the old days now.
What's up,
Hunter's
Doc?
Moon and Bastille rush off towards the walls and starts helping men who are trying to move a number of barrels to the top of the walls. Sprok is left alone with Petra as another hooded lantern is sent off to find an apothecary. She's looking over you, trying to give first aid, and says, "They threw one of the ichor vials at you. Who did that?"
That bastard Hunter's Moon.
Why in the hells would he do that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I
Yes,
don't know.
he's-
Pulled it out of the stash. Looked at it. Thought it was a good idea to throw at me. Stupid
Can I
person.
hear? Can I hear any of this?
No, you were outside fighting.
Fair enough.
She's...
Gerhard had that psychic link. I would just shout in my mind, "It was a fucking emergency!"
It said for emergency.
But like a motherfucker, I can tell you that.
She grabs a small jar of herbs, starts working at him with the mortar and pestle, and cleans up your forehead. I can't do much about the smell, but I can at least get rid of the irritation. You're lucky that you didn't have much on you.
Thank you. Now I just need some contamination purging. I think I got hit by a mutation. Clearing the contamination should allow me to regenerate. It may take a while, though.
We'll get the apothecaries here. For now, I want to make sure that you're not actually carrying anything on you. And she starts giving you she just gives you a quick exam. Nothing like big, mostly just checking for wounds and anything growing in bad places.
Nope.
Alright. Well, it looks like that's the worst of what you got. But here. She almost reflexively tries to hand you a small container, looks at you and says, "I'll just put this in your pack."
Thank you.
It's a she explains to you that it's a small little container of a restorative ointment. It's not much in the way of healing, but it's really good if someone gets poisoned.
Useful. Thank you.
After a little bit, an apothecary comes in, and the apothecary dismisses Petra to go help Ansem with the fighting. When the door
What's up,
when the door opens, it does sound like the fighting's starting to get a bit more organized, but organized doesn't mean safe. All right.
Especially when it's just me and Bastille.
All
You
right.
know? It happened.
I'm going to have to put you on the floor for a moment. Are you okay with that?
No.
Looks clean enough.
The
Go
apo-
ahead, Doc.
the apothecary puts you on the ground and draws a circle around you with it almost looks like a wand, until you realize it's basically just a stick with delirium strapped to it. He draws a large circle around you with a few symbols and says, "Okay, now when you throw up, it will not ruin the floor." And starts mixing up a couple vials and slowly starts feeding you the mixture. This would be a very unpleasant experience, but I promise it works. If your vomit is odd colors, I can't do anything about that. If it smells like strawberries, I can.
Don't worry. Probably even worse.
He feeds you the liquid, and it tastes almost like pure vinegar mixed with sock water. It is disgusting, and it burns all the way down. And over the course of the next hour, you find yourself retching horribly as the contamination comes up. By the time it's all done, the fighting's gone. The only thing left in the room is unpleasant smells and an odd tingling where your limbs should be.
At least the gnawing on my big toes gone away. Thank you, Doc.
No worries. anyone that helps out, well, I'm always glad to lend a hand. And the fact that nothing smelled like strawberries this time is a good thing.
Mhm. Now it's all done. Can you at least make me comfortable?
Ah, yes, yes. He picks you up and puts you on the bed. It's like, do you like being tucked in or just it laid over you?
Tuck in, please.
He tucks you in very tightly. Like, it feels almost like you're being strapped down to this bed with how he tucks you in.
Nice and comfy.
It is around this time that the fighting stopped, or is at least manageable, and Hunter's Moon and Bastille can come back.
As Hunter's Moon and Bastille are finding their way towards where Sprok is being holed up, Hunter's Moon is having a back and forth between Bastille, arguing with him about what happened on the battlefield.
Hey, it still counts as one. It still counts as one.
Just because you somehow managed to get one of them to trip a lit lantern that was held up by the garrison gates does not and catch themselves on fire does not mean that it was your kill. It was an environmental happenstance. Nothing
Because
more,
I caused
nothing
it.
less.
Because I caused it, meaning I did it.
You caused it by tripping over it.
It's like you never left, Randall. Like you never left.
You know, there's a lot of uncertain patches of my memory that are just complete mysteries to me, and I am sad to say that my memory of you is not one of them.
How about you just shut your damn?
Hunter's Moon notices Sprok laid up on the bed, tucked in blankets. Ah, you put him in a cocoon. How you feeling, buddy?
But I can't feel. Well, still feel limbs, but not feeling being chewed on anymore. So that's good.
Oh,
How's
time
the
your foot ain't getting chewed on.
Well, it probably is, but I can't feel it anymore. That's good.
well, if it was something chewing on your foot, maybe it tasted some of your flesh and realized that it was rotten. Scurried away.
Thankfully, I can feel the tingling of my limbs growing back now. It'll probably take a while before they're fully usable again, but in a couple of days we can get back to our mission.
How's the forehead?
Better. What possessed you to throw black ichor at me?
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah,
Well, then why in the hells was it marked in case for emergencies?
Petra.
in case of emergency, you throw it at the enemy, you idiot.
Whoa, it was an emergency.
It was an emergency. I was desperate. Ericos isn't with us. That's all I'll say. Other than that, I'm sorry. And if you got motion sick from me sprinting like a madman down the streets to this garrison, I also apologize. But something tells me that you rather enjoyed the ride.
It was exhilarating in its own way.
Now, what in the hells did I hear behind me as I was sprinting down that street?
Big fucker. Thankfully, it picked off some of the dredges.
Well, good. We had a lot of them behind us anyway. When we got outside, there were more than I expected. Thankfully, Bastille over here had a little bit of an accident, and it kind of Took care of itself.
I did it on purpose.
Does the dirt imprint with your face marked into it say that you did it on purpose too?
Yeah.
Hunter's Moon. If the apothecary is still here, how long will it take? How long will it take before he's good to go again?
Well, it usually depends on the individual, but before the week is over. I'll actually go ahead and roll that real quick. 3 days. Now,
Well,
you
you did lose your fucking limbs.
You did.
You should
Oh.
be able to see something growing by tonight. It would be very odd, but it can't be much worse than what you saw out there.
No, what we saw out there was a lot worse than what we're dealing with now. This is just a consequence of what we saw out there.
Okay, so I had to go check on the others, make sure anyone who got hurt is taken care of. Do you need me to send a message quickly? We have some people who need to go out and on message runs and supply runs anyways.
Well,
Yes,
if you got anyone going near Drexel, tell him we found Walter. I'm sure he'll know who we spoke of. Tell him he got transposed into the sewers and fused with an iron grate. We tried to save him, but were unsuccessful.
He writes it down.
shit, while we're at it, if we're here for a couple of days, do you think we should maybe send something to I don't know. The druid, get him here? If we're gonna be here for a couple days?
Yeah, why not?
I think the only thing for his sheet that I need to do is actually add a couple spells, but that's meh. Actually, no, he doesn't get spells yet.
Because yeah, Ericos is in Bufu, Egypt, so I actually think he's better to grab here.
The
Alright.
druid?
Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. The druid will be able to be here by the morning.
All right, now we got some fucking backup in case something stupid like that happens again.
Mm-hmm. Thank
Fucking,
God.
it's Sprok's recreating the scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail is the Black Knight, lose all of his limbs. Sprok's just like, all right, we'll call it a draw.
Come back here. I'm not done
I
yet.
feel like
I'll
it's
break
real
the
like
bloody ankles off.
right.
I am
feel like it's also,
invincible!
I
You're a
feel like-
loony.
I feel also like C-3PO when he's talking shit on the Wookiee's back, going, "Oh shit."
I'm imagining that like even if we somehow got caught by like all of those like Haze husks and all that and all that shit chasing us, Sprok would willingly wiggle his way up to one of them, and it would just be that same like, what are you gonna do? Bleed on me?
Oh, bite
Well,
your ankles off. Just
Bite your ankles off, yeah.
Just like Ahorn said.
Well, you see, I was at contaminated stage 2, which means I would be dealing 5d8 extra damage on every attack.
So yeah, literally, just the fucking jaw pressure of an alligator just snapping onto a Haze Husk's like arm, just chomping it off in one. I'm invincible.
The Invincible theme starts playing.
I'm assuming y'all are taking a long rest.
I
Sprok doesn't have a
will.
fucking
Yeah.
choice. So Sprok's able to go down to 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh, Zig, here's something fun though. I get do I get a vision at my rest? If not, I'll go through that fucking thing that Drexel gave me, that report of the attack of that night in Ansman.
Does he get a
We
vision?
Well,
Does he?
I have an idea. I can either give you a vision of your finest hour, or you can go through the
Oh.
book.
Ah. All right, what's Randall's finest hour? All right, I'll bite. How did the fishbowl get stuck on my head?
Actually, I don't gain any exhaustion from purge contamination.
Ooh, you already have that one?
Yep.
Nice! Was that
Oh.
the 3rd level or the 5th level one?
The immune to corruption. That was level 3 ability.
Hey, I'm remembering the books now. Alright. Randall, as you're running towards the gate, hearing the roar of monsters behind you, the vision flashes through your mind of the Battle of Geldstadt. You remember that you were tasked with hunting down someone or something that the Duke of Geldstadt said was keeping them from supporting Elias Drexel. You remember leading 300 men under your direct command, with 6 others leading their teams as well. You remember arriving at the field, getting ready for the final march to the target, and a wall of earth and rock and wind ripping through the ranks as something flies overhead. Remember running from it. Remember running to dodge this pure hellstorm of nature that was just ripping through the numbers. Remember leading a fine charge of your men towards its home. And then you snap back to reality.
So, as Randall's having this vision, he is very clearly in a state of meditation. He's sitting cross-legged, eyes closed. This is the state you typically find him in when he is, not at the beck and call of all of you. When he is resting, he doesn't really need to sleep or anything like that. He just does that. And I'm gonna make this save. I hope I roll low. I don't. That's a bitch. Randall is. I don't care if I passed anyway. I'm gonna fail it just for shits and giggles.
You can always choose to
Randall-
fail save.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing it. Randall is shaken. He's breathing heavily. His eyes are still closed, and at his hands at the side of his body now form tight fists, and he's very clearly not in the moment. As Sprok is laying there. It really seems like that Randall's having some sort of night terror. It almost makes uh it's getting to the point where Bastille is starting to notice it.
But still jolts up and goes, "What? What's going on?"
Randall is unresponsive.
Randall, the last thing you see as you open your eyes are those burning purple eyes staring back at you.
Randall proceeds to open his eyes, gasp for air, fall backwards from his sitting position, and raise up his mask to let the air better into his nose and mouth, and he's just breathing heavily as Bastille's standing over him.
But still grabs me and goes, Randall, like trying to think, try to get a response out of him.
Randall is breathing shakily. He looks towards Bastille, and he's slowly collecting himself, and he takes Bastille's hand and stands up, and he says, "I'm sorry, these visions, they only get progressively more detailed, and when they do, I don't like what I see.
Is it your past? What is it, brother?
My past, I can't explain it because I don't remember, but the best I can recall, quickly, can you quickly state the name of the place again? Where that
Geldstadt.
was? Geldstadt.
And what
I was
is
with
that
a
the
group.
bad? Sorry,
No, you go ahead, Timmy. You had a question.
I was gonna ask, was that the battle during the war?
It was a battle during the war, yeah. It was near the tail end of it, and you
Would
would
Bastille
know
be
that the
there?
Battle of Geldstadt wasn't necessarily against another army, but to gain the favor of the Duke of Geldstadt.
Okay, because I know Bastille helped Randall in the war. Would you say he was there or no?
Bastille was at that battle.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Uh, do you remember? Do you remember that battle toward the tail end of the war, Geldstaden?
And you just see Bastille raise his eyebrows and go, "That was a hard battle."
all of those men that I had under my protection. I don't think maybe more than a handful of them got out. Single digits.
I was the only one.
Bastille.
Okay. Yeah.
You would remember deeply that fight itself wasn't against any foreign foe. It was against a purple dragon. A purple crystalline dragon. One that Elias Drexel thought came from Drakkenheim after the meteor fell.
The dragon.
Yeah. The damn dragon.
Its eyes pierced you, make you fear.
Everywhere I looked, there was nothing but a cascade of fire and annihilation from every direction.
This is what you had a vision of?
It's something I remembered.
Brother.
Randall begins, he doesn't even notice it, but his hand forms into a fist to the point where his fingers are starting to dig into the base of his hand, causing a little bit of a droplet of blood to start pouring down. He says to himself, "You know, I think about it and think I know why we were there. At least I know why I was there. You were there because, well,
Something sent me there.
not only that, but you were there because you had what you had over me. And you knew that if I deviated from my rank, you would have no problem with outing laundry. But that's not the reason I was there. I was there because Elias told me to be there. Well, he normally wouldn't have a question following through an order like that. Finding a dragon is exhilarating for one thing, apart from losing all of those men. Drexel had something that Drexel had something over me that he knew that he could use whenever he wanted. In a way, he made me his lapdog,
Do you remember?
and that's why I was there.
Do you remember what that was? And but still,
It's-
also, do you, was it what I had over you?
No. No, I tried to keep those operations secret from Drexel for a long time. Whether they're known to him now, I have no idea.
I have not told him a thing.
Randall scratches his head for a moment before stumbling over himself and saying, I don't know. It couldn't have been anything that I had. Even back then, I often thought of things as just disposable. No, he had an agreement. Something very particular, someone was held over me to keep me serving in those missions. That's why Drexel did it so often.
But I can't think of who.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it was my wife. You have to remember that she was often a tracker, a hunter for the Hooded Lanterns. She did the odd jobs that not many people did because she was good at them.
You remember?
Uh,
Never
finding
told
a dragon would have fallen into her wheelhouse.
You gotta remember, you never told me that she was.
There's a lot that I didn't tell you.
And you see Basil like turn his eyes at you and goes, "Oh, I know."
I can't remember why why so many of us were there though.
Why were I? It was so long ago.
Well, that fight itself would have been about 6 or 7 years ago at most.
Oh, great. So this is like just towards the tail end of the war, right before Randall had a fucking catnap.
Yeah.
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 There's a lot of pieces of
Lovely Riley tap
about
dancing.
there's a lot of pieces about that war that I don't remember, but still. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be up to you and the likes of Sprok and Elias Drexel to fill in those gaps for me.
I can't tell you. I can't remember why we were there. I was just ordered to be there.
This is around this time that Drexel opens the door and the druid is accompanying him. I was told that you sent for help.
Yeah, we've as he's saying that, Randall lowers down his mask. We had some trouble with the Haze just outside of here. Had to beat feet had to beat feet down the roads just to get here. Got chased by a number of all sorts of creatures. Lucky you guys opened the doors when you did. We're gonna need him.
The druid goes over and checks on Sprok. You doing okay, little one?
I'm getting there. I think my limbs are starting to grow back.
He nods puts a hand over your chest and casts prestidigitation on you.
Mm-hmm.
Figured I'd try to make you a little warmer.
Thank you. Not the most pleasant of experiences. Ah, but that's nice. Thank you.
At least you get to have some fresh bread.
Mm.
You could tell he's trying to joke around, knowing that the bread here's as hard as rocks.
Randall has his arms crossed, still in his, in his suit, leaning up against a wall, and he's in between Drexel and Bastille, and he's kind of looking at Drexel, and even through the mask, Drexel can kind of tell that he has something on his mind.
You're gonna stand there all day having a hissy fit, you're gonna speak up, Randall.
Sorry, I've been in thought for a lot of the day.
That's the first.
I remembered. Yeah, real funny. I remembered a particular battle. You remember the one. The dragon. The purple amethyst dragon.
You remember, Drexel.
Honestly, there's not much of that battle that I really care to remember, but one thing bothers me.
Why were we
I don't
there?
I don't remember having to be there. That wasn't even my outfit.
I was ordered to be there. I didn't know the details. Why were we there, Drexel?
Drexel says the Duke of Geldstedt thought that Algorand had turned mad from delirium. Felt that it became a threat to his town, and said that someone needed to kill it. Algorand was not something that any single person could handle. And I wanted the people who had the best chance not at killing it, but at surviving it to go. And
That doesn't really answer my question, though. That explains why you sent that many people, but it doesn't explain why you sent the two of us. Like I said, that wasn't even our outfit. So what was the reason that you had us knowingly go into the middle of a field to track down an amethyst dragon?
Why
Had to
did
be
we?
more. There had to be more to it than just fighting it.
because you two gained the respect of the irregulars. You two actually gained the respect of the Ochtenwald irregulars, and that's something that I couldn't have gotten anyone else to do. Their commander retired off into some small town out west, and she wouldn't come back.
So you're saying that we were there because we managed to gain their favor, and that was our way of paying it forward?
Was fighting
That
the
was
abomination?
that was my way of getting them to fight. It's not often that you get a group as savage as the irregulars to actually do something to help a town rather than burn it down. And even then, we're lucky that Saul, God damn it, my head. Saul Jackson actually showed up. If it weren't for the Caspians, that battle would have been lost.
It was almost lost anyway. I can't count how many carts I saw filled that day.
Too many to count.
Better or worse, the death of those two was probably the best way for the war to end.
I have another question, if you don't mind.
What?
A while ago, while we were out doing another odd job, I had a dream, you could say. A while ago, and it's this particular one has taken me a long time to piece together, and I've made no leverage on it. A while ago, I dreamt that while I was still outfitted with the lanterns under your command, you were to my back. It was dark. You told me to keep something in the light, and it won't have a chance of hurting us. Do you remember that?
The Shadow Walkers.
Where were we that day? What were we doing?
Well, we weren't so far from Stone Rest. One of the few surviving Von Kessels were up there. They had something taking their men in the night, and we were told to check it out. And if it weren't for the fact that we had a few, let's say, former members of the Academy, I don't think we would have found out what the hell they were. Shadow Walkers are tricky business. You either keep them in the light, or there's not a damn thing you can do.
These shadow walkers. I described the creature that 'cause I can't remember if we talked to Elias Drexel about this in particular. So, the creature that attacked Emberwood Village. Is that the same thing?
He goes over to it, or he listens to it for a minute, and then you see the druid drawing something with charcoal and holds it up. Something like this? And it looks almost exactly like the creature, except a lot bigger.
Yep. That's the damn thing that threw a kid right at a tree next to me. It's been attacking Emberwood Village. I was wondering if that memory was connected, given that thing's aversion to light and anything divine. I'm
Druid,
glad you cleared that up.
the druid shakes his head and says, well, you have two choices with that. Fight them forever or find how they got here.
You telling me? It's been a little while. Are these things connected to some sort of totem?
They're connected to the Shadowlands. Somehow they went from the Shadowlands to here, and they'll just keep crossing over so long as they have a way over. It happens from time to time. Sometimes the plains get very thin, and it makes it easier for things like the Shadow Walkers to cross. Sometimes it makes it easier for the Fae to cross. But there's always a fixed location where it happens.
So as long as we find the rift, deal with it. The Shadow Walker will no longer be an issue.
Elias speaks up. Well, you got a couple ways you can do that. If you manage to capture one, it will always try to go back to the crossing. They need to go back to the crossing to actually digest their food. They can eat here all they want, but they'll slowly die of starvation if they don't cross over. I
Starve it out, lure it back home. Got it.
Can't even begin to tell you how to capture one, but If you capture it, it will always try to go back.
Well, Drexel, I guess that's why you used to have me on your payroll. After all, I used to remember I solved the impossible from time to time.
There's a rumor of a hunter of Chromac being in town. Maybe you'll get some help from him.
If I if we can avoid him, that would be preferable, but he does seem capable.
At the very least, you might be able to tell you how to track him.
We already met him. He gave us some tips on fighting the thing.
And to be honest, we learned more here than we did from him in regards to that thing. He wasn't too keen on helping us in the first place.
No.
You're not
Especially
too keen on
me.
being personable, Randall.
Ah, but it didn't help that you kept antagonizing him.
Drexel, there's a lot of things that I can let slide. But simply attacking my ability and my confidence in what I can do. I never let that slide, Drexel.
And whatever kept that, or whatever kept me from using that against you?
The difference being, Drexel, I was under your command. Not only was I under your command, but you made sure that you kept leverage over me anyway.
The difference.
Don't forget that part.
The difference is that you had some respect for me. Respect is a very valuable tool, Randall. I've spent a lot of time trying to teach you that.
Well, if it's any consolation, with this second chance that I've got, I'm learning, if albeit very slowly. Which is a far cry better from what I used to be. Apparently, I didn't listen at all.
Just keep the people you can trust near you. You got some good people around you right now, Randall. And at the very least, if you do something stupid enough to get you killed, they'll drag you back.
He looks towards Drexel with a little bit of a questioning eye, and he says, present speaking company included.
Well, didn't seem I needed to drag you back this time. Someone else got to you first.
Someone or something.
I never did find your body that night.
I awoke not too far from my house in Ansbin. There's that heavily wooded grove of trees. Not many people like to go back there. I used to camp out nights there when I was not too keen on spending the night in.
Couldn't find you.
I found an old shrine out there, covered in moss and foliage, long abandoned. That's where I crawled my way out to that night, Drexel. I don't know why, but I found solace in that statue, and that's where I chose to spend my final moments. After that, I can't tell you. I don't know how I got into these vestments when I did, or how. The only thing I remember is the pact that I made. It's the reason why I'm here, and it's the only reason why I'll continue to stay here. Until I fulfill it, or something gets to me again. I just hope that this time, if something gets to me, I at least have the follow through to take it with me.
Maybe keep some vials of alchemist fire on you then.
You telling me to go out in a blaze of glory, Drexel?
Or at least make one hell of a show of it.
Well, if the spectacle at Ansman is anything to go by, it looks like I did. So maybe history will repeat itself.
Chow's about ready. If you want to get yourself some breakfast, go ahead. Sprok, we got something coming up in a moment.
Thank you.
I don't eat, and I don't have the things that a typical mortal would have, but if you don't mind, I would ask a favor of you or one of your underlings around here.
What's that?
To pass the time while everyone's getting filled up, do you see if you can have one of your men find any tomes or research into what my title is? Under Lady Arwen, I'm known as a fist. I would like to know what that entails, or at the very least, what the proper duties are. Just because I was given the title doesn't mean that I understand what it fully entails.
Can't say we keep much religious tomes here, but if you're
The
looking for
still looks-
books, there's a few places you could look.
It still looks Hunter's Moon up and down when he says that.
Looks towards Bastille, then back towards Drexel. Where's that?
Well, the cathedral itself may be overrun by a bunch of fucking mutts, but it still has a library there of all sorts of texts, heretical or otherwise to them. The academy keeps notes on any kind of magic, and the castle itself has a very, very expansive library.
And you wouldn't happen to know anything about this supposed title that I was given, Drexel? You never heard anything about it? You don't know anything?
The only superstitions I subscribe to are the ones about putting your left boot on first, never turn your back on someone you just promoted.
The same old Drexel, even from all those years ago. If there's one thing I could commend about you is that you never seem to change. Even if your exterior gets older, your heart never does.
Alright. It is at this point I want to ask, because while we did start later than usual, our overseas friend, it's very late for her. Do you want to go until, or for another 20 minutes, or do you want to stop it here?
I think this is a good stopping point.
Alright, I want to make sure you get all the rest you need, because it is not fantastic to have someone sleep deprived trying to play.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, I'm
Yeah.
sure you have your own shit to do in the morning.
Yeah.
So, for now, good night. Thank you for watching, and remember, someone loves you.